welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Heidi. I live in Japan and I normally make lifestyle and travel content, but as you can see from the title, this week's video is quite different. It's going to be talking about my London Marathon 2025 experience, some tips I want to give beginners. So if you're interested in that, please keep on watching, and yeah, without further ado, let's get the video started. So let's rewind to 2024, sometime in March or April, I think. The London Marathon 2025 ballot just opened, so I decided to just sign up just for the heck of it, and wouldn't you know, I got accepted. From then, I wanted to become more consistent. I wanted to commit myself to finishing this whole marathon and want to do it all over again. From July to about December, I ran 2 events. I ran 2 10Ks, and I think it was just a good way to really become more regular and more consistent with my running, which I could really recommend to anyone. I am a very beginner runner. I'm quite slow, I'd like to think. Like, I'm not speedy by any means. So even just having that routine was really helpful for me. From the last week of December last year to about mid-April this year is when I started my training block. It's a little bit longer than a normal training block. I think a normal training block for a marathon would be 16 weeks, but I did 22. It was just getting my body used to it. I was just extra paranoid because it was my first ever marathon and I had no idea what to expect. I think it's good to know that not every program is going to work for you, and I feel like I should have made a few tweaks to my program because in the end, I lost a lot of confidence trying to follow the program perfectly. And then in February, I had my first ever half marathon, which I will link up here for you guys to check out if you're interested in that. So that was the first time I covered the distance of 21 kilometers, and I got to know how it felt like. I got to know where exactly my feet started to hurt, when exactly I lost fuel. Fueling is such an important part of running. You need to be well fueled. I don't think it would be a good idea to try to train for a long distance race and then be in a calorie deficit. I think it would just do you more harm than good. And then after that half marathon, almost every week after that half marathon, I would do over 21 kilometers. But it got to the point where it became really difficult for my body to adjust to that kind of load and stress in such a short period of time. So my hips started to hurt, the arches of my feet started to really swell up, and that's when I lost a lot of confidence. That's when I had to take a step back and really think about, do I want to finish the program perfectly, or do I want to get to the start line without any injury, without aggravating it? Because I just felt so down. Really needed to give my body rest. That's something that, looking back at the training block, I should prioritize. It's really rest. It's really listening to your body and not getting so caught up with the training plan that it got to the point where about 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks even, before the London Marathon, I completely stopped running, or I would only run once a week, and I would just do cross training instead. Just very low impact, just cruising, just keeping the fitness that I've built throughout the training block already, and hoping that it doesn't dip on marathon day. So that was basically how the training block went for me. I wish it went a little better, but looking back, maybe it just had to go the way it had to go for me to really appreciate the marathon. Let's get into going to London and everything I did to set myself up for success on the day itself. So I arrived in London on April 22 and the marathon was on April 27, and I wanted to give my body time to adjust to the jet lag because being 8 hours ahead of London is no joke. I think my body really had a hard time the first few days. I would feel kind of loopy or sleepy, so it was good that I gave my body time to adjust. And then from Thursday to Saturday, I was carb loading like crazy, and I have my older brother to thank because he just kept me so well fed the whole time. But I know that you really need to be well fueled to finish 42 kilometers, so I was just so thankful for it. And I think that was a very big reason why I didn't bonk or anything on race day. I made sure to know exactly how I'm getting to the start line and my wave start. My start time was about 11:15, and getting to the village, like athletes village, I guess, or the runners village, was crazy. Like, it's just, there's so much excitement in the air. You're all there to finish the marathon, but your motivations for going into it is so different. It was so inspiring to see so many other runners from all over the world just come together on this day. So positive, and considering how my training block didn't go as well as I thought it would, just being there and finally seeing everything come together was just another feeling. and I made sure to print my name on my shirt because I heard that that was a really good idea from previous people who've run London Marathon, and boy, it was amazing. So this was my game plan. All the way until half marathon, I would do my best to run completely. Hopefully there wouldn't be any aches or pains, and I would run it without any earphones. It felt like everyone in London just came out to cheer you on. So many people were like, "Let's go, Heidi, come on, Heidi." Running the marathon was even more special because my brother was there, so he would act as my personal aid station. I gave him links to certain points on Google Maps along the course, and I would tell him which side to stay on. And he was there every single time, and he'd be like, "Do you want water? Do you want gummies? What do you need? What do you need?" And it was just so nice. And you get to heidisarol, which was a 10K point, and it's like you're seeing this iconic landmark, and it's right there, and everyone's screaming. It's like a wall of sound just hits you, and then you go around, and then you eventually end up at Tower Bridge, which is not halfway. It's about 20 kilometers, but it's crazy. Like, the whole atmosphere is just... The whole time, I was smiling. I was really taking it in. I was like, you only get to run your first marathon once. Let's just have the best time that we can. Let's not think about the time that we're gonna finish. Let's just enjoy it because it's so special. You've trained so hard. You've spent so much money to get to this point. And if you're just gonna I don't know, beat yourself up the whole time you were running, or just have a bad time, then what was all of it for in the end? Getting to halfway was really crazy. I was like, okay, just a little bit, just another half to go. And there were so many Nike posters with their own encouragement, I guess. It did quiet down around Isle of Dogs, so I really appreciated it when my sisters surprised me with a motivational podcast. Yes, that's the file name. Filled with their well wishes, my grandma's well wishes, my friends, Shogo's well wishes. And it was like this magical 12-minute podcast that when I was feeling like I was losing a little bit of energy, it gave me an extra boost. I got a second, I got a third wind, and it was just so motivating, and I was so thankful. Because I wasn't expecting it at all. I think another thing that I did correctly, aside from taking in the atmosphere, having my name printed on my shirt, and just enjoying the vibe, enjoying running this thing, is that I made sure to be well-fueled while running. I would eat a lot from the start. I was eating throughout the race, actually. I went on a call with my friend who's run a lot of marathons already, and he was telling me that, these marathons, they're half professional eating contests. You just have to stay fueled. The minute you feel tired or you're bonking, it's already too late to try to fuel and fix it. It's like a car. You can't run when it's completely depleted. So you have to make sure that you're well fueled, you're drinking enough, you're eating enough. And yeah, I think that really helped. Even if I didn't feel like it, I would just have the gel regularly. I tried not to use new things on the day itself. I brought a lot of the things that I used from Japan. I think from halfway point, that was when I was like, okay, if I want to walk, I'm going to start walking now. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to judge myself for it. And I did. And if I feel like running, I'm going to run. So another thing I want to talk about during the marathon was that day in particular was so hot and very sunny. No one was expecting how hot it would get, and because I started at around 11:15, I could immediately feel the heat just pounding against my back, and I finished the marathon in over 6 hours. I wasn't expecting any sooner, but it's crazy to be running for that long under that kind of heat. Every time there was they would have these showers along the course, just mist showers, I would run and it would just feel so refreshing. It was really nice. And yeah, you really feel how far 42 kilometers is, but at the same time, it was almost like I was in a trance. I was just so happy to be there, looking at all the photos that were taken of me during the marathon. I'm just smiling. I'm just vibing. Considering how during my first long run, after my first half marathon, it was 24 kilometers, and I finished 24 kilometers, I think. But toward the end, I wanted to cry because I was just so miserable running that long. And then to compare it to running a marathon and being so happy at the end of it, it was just such a nice contrast. And I'm really happy that, things happened the way that they did.
Almost there. Less than 2 kilometers to go. Let's go. I've just been walking, but I've been having the time of my life.
when I saw Big Ben, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I just have to keep pushing. And I think I turned the corner and I just ran. I just ran. Like, I don't know where that last sprint came from, if you could even call it a sprint after running over 40 kilometers. But it just came and I just kept going and going. And then I saw you're 380 yards from the finish line, or 380 yards to go. And I was like, what is that in kilometers? But I still kept going. Then I saw Buckingham Palace. I turned, I saw the finish line, and I was just running all the way. And yeah, it was just such a magical feeling receiving. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys the medal. Here's how it looks like. Oh my gosh, like, there were times in my training block where I started to beat myself up and I was like, you're never gonna finish. Like, who did you think you were signing up to this marathon? Do you really think you could do it? And seeing this just makes me believe that, yeah, I can really do hard things. A marathon is not easy, but I would argue that a training block for a marathon is not easy. I think it might be worse, because mostly you're by yourself and you're just like going through it. But yeah, it was just the best experience ever. And I think if you're thinking about signing up for a marathon, just do it and make sure to tell everyone you know that you're running a marathon so everyone can give you their support. It was really just the best experience, the best first marathon I ever could have run. And it just made me fall in love with the sport. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about running, these are a few other tips that I would want to give. So the first is to train for it. Please respect the distance. Know that 42 kilometers is a really long way. Train for it. Try to be consistent. You don't have to follow your plan perfectly, but try to follow it as much as you can within reason. Second, prioritize rest, because rest is so underrated, but that's where the magic happens, I feel. Third, fuel before, during, and after. It's the gas in your car. You absolutely need this, as well as water. Like, because it was such a hot day, every time I saw a water station, you best bet I was drinking. Another thing aside from taking water and being fueled is to know the course. You don't understand how many times I watched the Let's Run the London Marathon course video on YouTube. I just wanted to know exactly what to expect. So the more you know, the less anxious you're gonna feel. And another one is to really trust your training. Like, okay, your training plan didn't go perfectly, but you need to trust that you were able to finish at least 80% of those really hard workouts where you tell yourself that you were gonna stop. That can really build so much confidence that can help you on race day. And another one is when you get to the wave start, make sure you go to the bathroom at least twice. Another tip is you have to print your name on your shirt. You absolutely must. If there's anything that you'll take away from this video, it really needs to be print your name on your shirt. Trust me, it will change your whole marathon experience. And I think, yeah, that's really something that I wasn't planning on doing, but I'm so glad I did. Another one is after the marathon, expect that the signal is going to be quite choppy, reception is going to be quite choppy, so at least have a designated place that you're going to meet your loved ones after. It was really easy to find my older brother and head to our dinner reservation because we knew exactly where to see each other. And yeah, after the London Marathon, he treated me to Sunday roast. So happy I got to try it after running so far and with my older brother. It was just so nice. Next is make sure that you've practiced majority of what you're going to do on race day. Like nothing new, no new shoes, no new socks. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. The shirt that I'm wearing is like the finisher shirt too. So I'm just very happy and like over the moon with how everything went. As for my next race, I have no idea, but you best bet I'm not going to stop running anytime soon. And yeah, I hope that you guys do too. I hope that you guys will sign up to the challenge and go run. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. And that's all for now. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!